What is going on, Cancer? Welcome back to the channel, Elevating Spirits. It's Jazi, your favorite Cali reader. So this is going to be what is your next major turning point or next major event. Okay, so the first card starting this off is representing what that is for you. In particular, everything else kind of just edifies that and clarifies that. So meaning that this this first card here is only major arcanas. So this one is going to represent what is your next major turning point, next major event, meaning that the major arcanas in the tarot typically represent events that are inevitable, ones that are bound to happen one way or another. We can delay them, but at some point they're going to happen regardless. We can't prevent them. You can just delay them as long as you want, but that can also make them more intense when they do show up. Okay. Positive or negative, right? It's all, depend on what you do with it. So these are the energies available to you at this time. Please take what only applies. Remember, these readings are general as always, meaning they're not going to be for everyone, but if you were guided here, then there is highly likely a message here for you. Okay, so the first row of cards here is representing what that major event is for you. We're clarifying it with the tarot. Second row column is how this major turning point or event is benefiting you, how it's challenging you, and potential overall outcome, and advice from your spirit guides. Okay, so it already feels like there's a lot to unpack, because first of all, just looking at the bottoms of the deck of the cards that I've used, of the decks that I've used, which we will get into in just a second, but looking at the other cards that are here, a lot of them came out in doubles, which wasn't the goal. It wasn't what I was trying to do, but I'm not going to rob you of your messages that are from spirit. So I let what needed to come out. So we're going to get into it. So it definitely feels like Cancer, some of you are definitely either in a healing phase or needing to allow yourself to heal. Okay. And I say that just looking at the advice without even diving into that, because I'm not there yet at all. We're going to get toward, that's like the last cards that we're going to use or talk about, but it ties into what we have at the bottom of the decks that I am using. So I feel like for some of you, this is energy that is typically unseen. That's why it's at the bottom. It's typically what you're not really aware of. Even if you are aware, it's like you're maybe not sure. So this reading could definitely serve as confirmation. Okay, so what it feels like is some of you are definitely in a healing phase. Okay, and while things may feel really dark at this time, things may feel really kind of like unsure, uncertain. Some of you may be having a difficult time kind of deciphering what's your next move, which way to go. Some of you are definitely maybe going through some financial struggles. Finances could be tight right now. Some of you maybe have made some investments that aren't maybe yet paying off. That is going to get easier. Okay, I feel like some of you need to know that you are on the right path, meaning that all the challenges that some of you are experiencing, although they may be difficult, although they may be painful for some of you, it just doesn't seem to make sense. Maybe you're not able to really logic your way through this. Just know that it will get easier. Okay, and I know that a lot of people feel like that's like a cliche thing, but it's here in your cards. Okay, literally at the bottom of the deck we have the Six of Swords, okay, with the Two of Pentacles. So it's like, things are gonna balance is gonna be restored, okay, in your life. I feel like some of you need to know that especially when it comes to finances, if that is something that's happening for you guys, okay, with the financial constraints here, things are going to balance out, because underneath that is the cornucopia. Okay, so in this deck in particular, the cornucopia represents material harvest, abundance. Your fruit is ripe, it's ready to it's ripe for the picking, basically. Okay, so meaning that for those of you, like I said, that have been making some of the investments, working on projects, doing just putting in a lot of time, effort, and energy into different things, and you're really not seeing the payout this season, which I did forget to mention, so let me mention that really fast. This reading is covering the winter season, and so Spirit does have me doing these for each season, this particular type of reading for each season. So this one particular is for the winter season, which is from the winter solstice, December 21st, all the way into the spring solstice, which is the real new year, by the way, March 19th. And you can look up this information, so you don't have to take my word for it. But the real new year is starts March 19th, okay? And that's when the spring solstice starts. If you notice, that's when everything, like literally nature, comes out of hibernation, and everything that's kind of like dead, so to speak, wakes back up, starts to bloom, things start to grow again. You know, obviously not everything is dead, but you know what I'm saying, for the most part. Like flowers and such, some things like that. You know, this is that period where the new is ready, and you know, seeds are ready to be planted at that time. Okay, so I feel like for some of you, this is like a confirmation that there is something that some of you are needing to surrender. Okay, for some of you, this could definitely be a connection, a higher level of commitment. For some of you, it could be a marriage, or just, you know, some type of contract, some type of, whether it's a soul contract or you know, something that you committed yourself to. Some of you are maybe realizing that maybe your finances are being stagnated at this time, and it's because there is something that you guys are, like I said, involved in, or putting in, you know, investing in, whether it's time, energy, effort, money, doesn't matter. That's not for you. It's essentially asking you to surrender it. It's asking you to give it up, to let it go. Okay. And I feel like for some of you, this could just be as simple as, and I'm not saying it's simple, but I mean, very clear, I guess I should say, as the stress, right? The stress surrounding your finances. Like I've even went through that for quite some time, where it was teaching me how to trust the process, but also trust the Most High, that, you know, if I'm doing my best, if I'm, you know, answering the calls and what I'm being guided to do, if I'm taking action when and how I can, if I'm doing the inner work, doing, you know, whatever for me and my path that I'm guided to do, that's the best that I can do. And the rest, I just need to give up to the universe and trust that ultimately the universe has my back. And I feel like for some of you, that is where this could also apply, is that you're being asked to essentially surrender, you know, the stress, surrender the anxiety, the, you know, the lack, for some of you, the lack mentality that some of you have adopted, which, you know, and some of you definitely were born with that, like a lot of us were, right? It's, you know, it's not just you, trust me. So I feel like for some of you though, this period is really asking you to, you know, allow yourself to let go of what doesn't serve you, but let go of, you know, if stress isn't doing anything but you know, making things worse, if stress isn't helping you take action, if it's not attracting you know, new opportunities, new connections, you know, collaborations, whatever it is that you're feeling like you're needing right now, then that's something we just need to let go of, right? So whatever that is for you, you know, it's not for you. And so for some of you, you're being asked to give that up at this time. I also feel like this is really an important time for you guys to, you know, take some time to relax. You know, I understand that, especially when we're in an energy of feeling financially constrained and feel like finances are really tight, you know, that it can be difficult. Like, how do you expect me to relax when I have rent due, right? That's again where the faith comes in, where you have to trust that the universe will work things out on your behalf, will work things out in your favor. And yes, it can happen instantaneously if you are in that vibration of allowing, right? But when we're in this energy of like, but I need, that's sending out a vibration of lack, that you don't already have it, meaning it's not possible for it to just literally fall into your lap, so to speak. And so some of you are really being asked to, you know, let go of what is, you know, causing stress, anxiety, worry, doubt, whatever it might be for you. You know, if it's limiting beliefs, if it's the stress of, I have bills due, I have rent, completely, trust me, I understand. You know, however, you're not helping yourself, because that's not how energy works, right? So that means that anything that you put intense energy and focus on only amplifies. So that means that if you're, you know, we already know, yes, you have a bill due and you don't know how you're going to pay it. Yes, rent is due and you don't know how you're going to pay it. Or, you know, I'm going to be evicted in 30 days if I don't come with this amount of money. Yes, we're aware, right? But it is also coming to the understanding that anything you focus that intently on only makes it, you know, only grows that. It only makes it worse and amplifies it. So that means that that's both on the positive and negative. Okay, so I feel like some of you either needed to, you know, hear this, whether it's the first time, or needed the reminder, doesn't matter, that if you can amplify your problems, you can also get into the vibration, the frequency to amplify a solution to fix it, right? To make it better, okay? And so I feel like some of you are needing to know that essentially whatever you're experiencing right now, it's teaching you something, okay? And I say that because we have the Hierophant, okay? For some of you, it's essentially teaching you how to trust the universe. And we just talked about that, okay, with the Fool here. Some of you, the universe is really kind of testing you at this time, testing your patience. It could be testing your trust, testing, are you going to trust us? You're being guided to take some sort of a risk. Are you going to trust us to take that risk and know and trust that it will benefit you? It will turn out in your favor, better than you could have expected, right? This is what I feel like some of you are being guided to do at this time. And it could definitely have to do with something or someone from the past, okay? Some of you are being asked to take a leap, but it's going to require you to leave something else behind. We have the Six of Swords here with the Six of Cups. So this is like something that I feel like some of you feel like you lost out on or missed out on in the past. Some of you, are realizing, or, it's kind of like you're being asked to let go of something that isn't for you. Okay, I feel like some of you, there's something from the past that may be trying to come back around, or maybe some of you are coming maybe to the realization that whatever this thing from the past is, whether it was a quest or a person, a connection, a soulmate, whatever that is for you, something you're trying to manifest, right? It's like it's giving you an opportunity to, it's giving me judgment energy, but that's not the cards that's being presented here. But that's the feeling, the vibration that I'm getting here, that it's judgment energy, meaning you're awakening to something. Some of you are awakening to, what you're needing to do, what you're needing to go to, what you're needing to go towards. And the only way to do that is to leave something behind in its place, right? So, whatever that is for you, take it as it resonates. But if that message applies to you, you'll know exactly what this is talking about. So let's get into your messages. Okay, so interesting. So we have the Empress in reverse. Okay, so for some of you, this has to do with typically upright. The Empress represents a mother figure. It represents someone who is nurturing, someone who is caring, someone who is basically all the queens embodied in one, right? Someone who knows her worth, knows her value, a woman of worth and value, right? Someone who is abundant, okay? Someone whose needs are always met. They represent, it's kind of like representing the queen of all queens. It's not just this irregular queen. There's only one of these in the whole entire tarot deck. There's 4 queens of the other suits, but there's only one Empress, meaning this is a one-of-a-kind type of energy here. And so I feel like for some of you, what this next major event or turning point is kind of like giving up what this is for you. Some of you, this may feel like a loss of some sort. This may feel like a loss of a mother figure, or just really feeling, for those of you who may have lost a mother figure at some point, this could represent, kind of like not having that energy, right? Like the feeling of really feeling the loss of that, the lack of that, for some of you, this could definitely be a person in your life and experience that is in this energy. Someone who is, the complete opposite of an Empress, who may be pretending to be an Empress, but really doesn't embody it hasn't mastered the other queens at all, right? The energy of the other queens at all. This person could actually be manipulative. This person could actually be very vindictive, okay? Kind of self-centered. Really operating from a lack vibration. And so for some of you, this is essentially maybe releasing this type of person that maybe some of you at one point thought was the Empress, thought was your end all be all, or thought that this person, was someone of worth or value. And some of you are coming to maybe realize that it's not, that this isn't who you thought it was after all. Okay, so let's get into clarify that with the tarot. So tarot, we have the King of Wands and Justice. So the Justice did come out first, and then the King of Wands came out after that. So I feel like for some of you, this person could definitely be a Libra. Also, the King of Wands is like Aries energy, but it could be a fire sign as well. Signs, it doesn't really matter, okay? It's the energy that we're talking about here. So for some of you, it feels like this next major turning point is anything that has been done wrong in your life, anybody that has maybe taken from you, that has, just treated you foul, or, wasn't nurturing, wasn't caring, even if they pretended to be, or sold you on the fact that, we could have this and that, and I'm gonna make you better, and, all made you maybe a bunch of promises they couldn't keep. just know that the scales of justice and karma are being balanced on your behalf. Some of you may not realize that yet. It may not feel like that at this time, but it is, okay? Some of you, this is exactly what you needed to know, that it feels like for some of you that you've gone through an experience with someone that it feels like they got away with it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting here. It's like somebody feels like, you know, like they did this and they got off scot-free. No, trust me, there's always eyes watching. Even if it's, you know, not physically in the 3D, the eyes and the ethers are always watching, okay? And so I feel like for some of you, anything that has been out of balance as well. So like I said, for some of you that have been struggling financially, like I did say, okay, that's over, right? Things are, like I said, with the Six of Swords, things are about to get easier. Even if this requires you to move, and some of you are kind of like undecided about how am I going to do that? I don't have the money, you know, whatever that might be. This is also, I feel like, indicative of, this could definitely represent a choice that some of you are making that's going to make it easier. For some of you, this could definitely represent having like more than one job opportunity or financial opportunity that you're going to need to choose from, that may require some of you to move, and that could be what's restoring balance here in your finances. But others of you, this is just simply the universe, you know, kind of like making things right on your behalf, right? Where you don't have to do anything for it. And essentially balance is being restored to where you're going to have, you know, it's like also, I feel like at the same time, simultaneously restoring your energy, restoring your drive, your passion, your determination to continue, to keep pushing through, to, you know, continue on your mission in this life. Okay. Like I said, look, Ten of Swords. Okay. So it's like the ending. Okay. So whatever has been difficult, whatever has been kind of like in flux, and you guys have been maybe having a lot on your plate, having to do a lot of things. I do feel like that, you know, that's like a rough ending. Like it's done. The worst has already happened. The worst is behind you, right? Because even after that, right, is the Nine of Cups, right? After that, the Ten of Wands. So this is exactly what I'm talking about, that whatever has been stressing you out, whatever has been kind of like just all over the place, just know that your guides, your spirit guides, your ancestors, the Most High has been watching, and things are about to, balance is about to be restored. If it hasn't yet, you're about to start seeing that. So I feel like some of you are really being guided at this time to surrender the stress. For those of you that have been worried or concerned about like, this person did me wrong, you know, how dare they take me to court, you know, whatever, I didn't even do anything. This is the trust that, like I said, some of you, it's teaching you something. And for some of you, it's simply showing up, because if when the universe is trying to teach us certain things, if we ignore the lesson that's being presented, it's going to hit harder when it has to find other ways to show you what it tried to show you 3-4 times down, you know, before, right? So for some of you, it feels intense, but it's just simply showing you, we just wanted you to trust. We just wanted you to take this risk and trust what you're being guided to do, to leave something behind, surrender something, give something up that you know isn't serving you. You learned everything you were supposed to learn from this. You learned everything that you were supposed to from this connection. You fulfilled your part of the contract. And if the other people didn't, that has nothing to do with you. We just wanted you to trust and take this leap, right? So for some of you, that's exactly what this is talking about. So if you're really feeling like things are very intense right now, things are maybe really challenging, for some of you, the lesson is really simple, right? It's like, for me, what I've learned that made a lot of my challenges like that a little bit easier is when I would sit down and take the time, for one, taking the time to sit down and ask the hard questions about, why is this happening? What are you trying to teach me, right? I would pull every single lesson that I could possibly think of, that possibly would come to me, about what potentially it could be. So even if it's not what really the universe was trying to teach me, if it came to my mind, I'm taking that, I'm noting that. So that way I've covered all of it and then some. So for me, it's like, I'm not only covering what it was really intended for, but I'm also getting extra credit because I went that extra step to take all the fucking lessons it could be teaching me, right? So some of you might benefit from doing that too, okay? So clarifying that is the Two of Wands. So like I said, it's really giving me energy of something that you guys are really being guided to leave behind. I'm going to show you why, okay? Six of Swords, that represents moving on, you know, moving out of conflict into things that have been maybe conflicting you in your mind, manipulation. This is moving on from that, whether it's a physical move or just leaving something behind. Okay, we have surrender here. These are at the bottoms of the decks, by the way, right? Following the surrender is underneath that is gratitude. Okay, so this is literally giving something up because you've seen what it was trying to teach you. You're grateful for, you know, the stress. You're grateful for the challenge because now you get to learn what it was supposed to teach you, meaning that when you do that, you don't have to repeat the lesson because you got it, right? So I feel like some of you are being asked to, you know, let it go. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's conflicting, or it's challenging. It's complex, right? But when you learn what it was trying to teach you, the whole purpose of why it all happened, it not only frees you up from that resistance that's holding you back and putting you in financial constraints, right? But it's also making it where you don't have to repeat it because you learned. You see what I'm saying? And then not only that, you don't even have to take it personal. You don't even have to feel that whole feeling of like, why would they do that to me? Or why would this person treat me like that? You don't have to personalize it. You don't have to internalize it because you realize that was just part of my training. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, for example, if you were in the military, right? And you know, they go through boot camp and people yell at you and then treat you like shit and all that stuff. And we take it personal, like, damn, they just really don't fucking like me. And then you realize later on, you have a conversation with them after you passed, right? And they're like, you know, I just had to do that to you because I needed you to see how powerful you were, right? And you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you did all that for that? Like, really? You know what I'm saying? And then they tell you like, yeah, you're actually my favorite. That's why I had to treat you the worst. You see how it's like the polarity, two completely different opposites of the same spectrum, okay? I feel like that's what some of you are dealing with right now. So I feel like it's just showing you, again, not for you, okay? At the bottom of the other deck that I use, like I said, some of you is just teaching you how to relax. It's teaching you how to trust, okay? And that's, again, what some of you are being awakened to at this time with the Hierophant here. The lesson that spirit was trying to teach you. And when you awaken to that, like, oh, this was just a part of my training for my next step, the next phase of my journey, it then prepares you to do what? The Fool. Take the leap. Because you know that it's not because I was incapable. That was part of the process, right? Ooh, this feels juicy already. It feels juicy. So how is Cancer benefiting from this time? Okay, from this moment, this major turning point. So we have broken heart in reverse, so card 9. So for some of you, it's essentially, you're benefiting from this by, I feel like it's helping some of you heal a broken heart. It's helping you come out of any type of feeling of loss, grief, resentment, you know, heartache, whether it's from a relationship or just simply like a death, right? Like a physical transition, some type of loss that some of you have experienced with the mother figure, because that's what the Empress is. She's typically a mother, right? Some of you, this is essentially helping you heal from maybe some type of mother wound. It's for some of you, it's restoring balance in such a way, or bringing some type of justice in, you know, where it's like karma is being returned to you in the most positive and best way. Okay, so clarifying that is action 17. So some of you may be born on the 17th, the 9th. These could be life path numbers for some of you, as well as the 3. Okay, so for some of you, it's essentially this justice, this restoring of balance here, I feel like is pulling you guys out of this heartbreak energy. For some of you, this could have been a breakup. This could definitely represent a divorce. Okay, and for some of you, it could have. This just came to me, but that's not really what I was feeling. But if you know, take it if it applies. For some of you, this could represent a miscarriage. Okay, where someone may have told you they were pregnant and they could have lied about it. Okay, and some of you may have been really heartbroken, like damn, like thinking you lost a baby, but come to find out they weren't pregnant at all. Okay, that's a very, very, it may only be one of you that even applies to, if y'all even watch this video, because y'all didn't, like, none of y'all watched the last one. So but I'm just saying, like, you know, it feels very, very specific. That just literally came through. So for some of you, that could be what this is representing, where some of you, you know, could have lost a baby, lost someone, you know, someone that said they were pregnant, you know, with your child, if you're a masculine, and you're kind of like, and come to find out they lied about it. But for some of you, it was a trick. It was like their way of trying to trap you, keep you from moving on. And some of you, it's just to show you that, again, that person is not for you. Essentially, that person, that connection was what was causing financial constraints. Okay, essentially blocking your finances and your financial flow, your flow of abundance, right? Some of you, it was just teaching you what you needed to move on from. Okay, for some of you, this could also be finding out that someone who is pregnant and it's not yours. Because why? They were juggling. They were dealing with other people. They were dealing with someone else, right? And they betrayed you. They backstabbed you by, you know, sleeping with someone else. Okay, maybe while they were drunk with the Nine of Pentacles. I mean, the Nine of Cups here. For some of you, this could have happened when someone was drinking, when someone had a little too much to drink, and it was just like, I'm drunk, and they use that as an excuse. Like, no, there's never an excuse, right? And it's something that's been maybe weighing someone down, and it's overwhelming. And then followed by that, what I just, come through, Spirit. Followed by that, the Page of Swords, the Princess of Swords, which is the page, okay? For some of you, this is definitely something you're finding out about. If you didn't know, for some of you, this is receiving the truth. This is something that maybe you had an inkling of, like, I feel like they're cheating on me, or I feel like they're, you know, doing something with someone else, or a particular maybe night specifically. Some of you are getting clarity that that's exactly what happened, that someone had you in a third-party situation, okay? Someone who's maybe vulnerable, maybe because they were drinking and they allowed something to happen, they didn't use protection, whatever, right? And, you know, shit went down. So for some of you, justice is being restored here. Someone's, I feel like, definitely getting their karma, right? And I feel like it's when you walk away. Some of you, you're really being guided to leave something behind and go a different direction, because that is what's going to issue karma. And the reason being, because I'm speaking from experience, is that sometimes before karma can come in and do her thing, well, she is not a bitch, so please don't reference her like that, because when she shows up for you, she's not a bitch in that moment, right? So, you know, just saying for your sake, right? You know, this is allowing karma to do her thing when you separate yourself. That way you don't get caught in the crossfire. It's the same thing as when you happen to be walking, you know, some people are walking down the street and they get hit by a drive-by, right? Being at the right place at the wrong time, meaning they could have been there, they should have been there, because they, you know, they had somewhere to go, right? They had a reason to be there, but it was the wrong timing. And sometimes, and that's why, right? So we sometimes get hit with other people's crossfire. So for some of you, justice is being restored, and you guys are being guided to essentially move in a different direction, leave something behind, and go choose a different route, choose a different path, no matter what this is about. And I feel like for some of you, it's essentially doing that. So when karma does show up, you guys are already out the gate. King of Wands, you guys are already pursuing something else. You're worried about yourself, okay? You're focused on your own goals, your own dreams, your own desires. It's like you won't even be anywhere near to when shit goes down and karma is coming to pay up and collect, right? You won't get caught in the crossfire. Not only that, you can't get blamed for being, you know, guilty by association in a situation, okay? So this feels really deep for some of you. So how this is benefiting you is bringing you out of this heartbreak type of feeling of loss, sadness type of energy, and it's bringing you in, and it's helping you take action, okay? It's helping you take action on your goals and putting you in a place of peace, okay? I feel like for some of you, it's like an energy of, you know, you may have been hurt when you first found out or when this first happened, but I feel like it's restoring you in such a way where you're realizing, like, you know, I was hurt at first, but this is actually benefiting me. I'm actually seeing how this can help me right now. Like, you know what, if like, say for example, if it was, you know, I'm never gonna say like, you know, it's a good thing that a baby didn't make it, right? But just know that the souls that sign up to come in and incarnate through the mother's womb, whatever, sometimes they change their mind. So that's nothing you have to take personal, right? A lot of people don't know the spiritual side of these type of situations, okay? It's not always the parent's fault and what they did. It feels like that, right? Because that's our shadow that feels bad, that feels guilty, that wants to blame and point fingers and, you know, all that shit. But for some of you, it's like you may be feeling like, damn, like that was fucked up. I thought that was my baby, or, you know, I did have a baby on the way and, you know, it didn't make it. And some of you may be feeling really down about that, but I feel like it's gonna also help you realize that, you know, I really wasn't ready for that anyway. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't bring a child into a situation of chaos, right? That's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never want to bring a child into, you know, an unsteady, unhealthy, unbalanced relationship or environment. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like some of you are kind of realizing, like, you know what, this was a blessing in disguise, right? It sucks that it happened, right? It doesn't deny that at all, but it just shows you that it could have been worse, and it's actually benefiting you the way it's played out so far, okay? So clarifying that energy, this is deep, you guys. So we have the Sun and the Queen of Cups, okay? So Leo energy, some of you may have Leo in your chart, two major arcanas back to back, the Justice and the Sun. So some of you, like I said, it's like some of you are seeing things in a different light. Some of you are seeing things really clearly. Some of you, something that was maybe hidden from you, that maybe you had an intuitive nudge or inkling about, is being brought to light, okay? Because the Queen of Cups definitely is an intuitive sign. It's an intuitive energy. That's also water energy, okay? So for some of you, this is something that you've already kind of knew about, but didn't maybe have concrete evidence of. Okay, so for some of you, that's what's being revealed here. Okay, and that's why I feel like some of you is like, I'm not feeling bad about this anymore, because for one, I didn't do anything wrong, and you know, what's done in the dark will always come to light. So I feel like some of you, it's essentially, you know, showing you like, you know what, I deserve better. Like, you know, and also I feel like some of you, it's showing you that if it was meant to happen or be any different, it would have been. Okay, so you don't need to personalize this or, you know, make it kind of like blame yourself for anything that didn't work out. Okay, I feel like it's just kind of like essentially putting you back in this energy. For me, this card here in particular looks like the Chariot card. It looks like your card in the tarot. Okay, because we have the black and the white horse here, right? It's card 17, but it's the black and the white horse that represents your light and your shadow, right? Both going the same direction. They're strong, they're in alignment, they know what the assignment is, and you know, they don't need that's why they don't need the reins, right? Because they're both on the same page, they know what the plan is, so there's no need to kind of constrain them and hold them back, right? You just, you know, let them go, let them free flow and go with the flow, right? So I feel like that's for some of you what this is kind of bringing you to, where, you know, you guys are coming out of that energy now and ready to, you know, some of you, it's because you're nurturing yourself, you're taking care of yourself, you're letting the sun shine all upon you. Okay, some of you, by letting yourself come out of this, you know, heartbroken, sad energy, is essentially opening up new doors of opportunity for some of you. That's also what the sun represents, is, you know, new opportunities, you know, positivity, you know, just feeling good, right? Feeling good about life again, get into a place where I actually am starting to feel just a little bit better, even if it's just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Focus on that. And that is when you, like I said, whatever you focus on amplifies. So I feel like some of you, this is kind of like reminding you to do the things that make you feel good. Okay, do the things that make you feel loved and appreciated and taken care of. Take action on those things, and that's also going to help you more so come out of any type of heartbroken, sad, regretful, or, you know, just like down, feeling like a loss type of energy here. Okay, so clarifying that as the King of Swords. Okay, so I really feel like this is like, you know, essentially, you know, helping you guys see things very clearly. Okay, I feel like some of you, whatever is coming to light here, some of you, it's like essentially putting you in a position to make a head over heart decision here, and I feel like it's necessary. Okay, so I feel like whatever you guys are, you know, leaving behind or being guided to leave behind, it's happening exactly how it's supposed to. Okay, I feel like some of you are definitely seeing a situation or a person for who and exactly what they are. Emotions aside, this is just pure logic, and, you know, letting your masculine energy, whether you're a man or a woman, doesn't matter, letting your masculine energy, you know, kind of like make the decision here, you know, and do what's best for everyone. Okay, so I feel like for some of you, it's also if this is ideas that some of you have had, some type of, you know, great idea that maybe you haven't been able to take action on, this is clearing that energy and presenting some of you opportunities to actually act on whatever this idea is that's coming to you. Okay, but it's like things I feel like are definitely being made clear at this time, and it's essentially helping you make an informed decision, because now you're aware, you see things clearly, you see someone clearly. So now if there was confusion or illusion, or, you know, kind of like, I don't know, I'm not sure because I don't have all the information, this is having full-on clarity, right? And being able to be strong enough, but also logical enough to cut out anything that isn't serving you. Okay, so how is this challenging the Cancer? So we have strategy and the void. So card 21 and 1. Okay, these could be birthdays, life path numbers, numbers you may be seeing frequently. Some of you may be seeing 211, 2111 for some of you, I'm getting here. But so I feel like this is challenging because some of you feel like you're, like I said, really in a dark place right now. Okay, where it feels like you don't really see the way ahead, you don't really know how something's gonna work. Okay, I feel like some of you might be like myself. Okay, I'm a Virgo, but, you know, a lot of us Virgos who resonate with that, I know it's my sun energy, but I feel like some of you may also have that same kind of battle at times, where it's like, I need a plan, I need to know what to do next, I need to see where I'm going, right? And I feel like some of you are really being guided or led to really trust the guidance, because this feather here this is giving me that your angels, your ancestors, your guides, your spirit team is all over this. Okay, the fact that it's like showing up right here in the middle, that's what the message is coming through so strong right now, is your spirit team is all over this situation, meaning they're right there with you every step of the way. All you need to do is allow yourself to tap in. What I was getting here with the relax card and meditation, and you know, going within, allowing yourself to get still. That's where you're going to find, you know, whatever it is that you're seeking that maybe you can't see right now, right? Because it feels dark, it feels like you don't have clarity, you can't see the way ahead, right? Some of you, that's what the energy that you're in right now. Some of you are literally in the void part of the dark night of the soul, right? Where it's like, it's tumultuous, it's complex, it's challenging, it's painful, it's a lot, it's dark, right? It's fuck. But that's where your magic lies, in the darkness. So I feel like some of you are really being guided to go within that place and do your best to just embrace it, sit in it, and learn to love it, right? Because that's where I feel like you're going to get the information that some of you, that's where what this clarity is representing here, that it's going to give you clarity. Whatever's been hidden, right? That's what's going to be brought to light here with the sun, okay? But it's going to come through, I feel like, intuitively. It's going to come through your intuition. For some of you, it's going to be some type of creative endeavor or something that is going to, you know, help you put together some sort of a strategy, okay? So for some of you, you definitely may be feeling challenged with coming up with a strategy, but just know that, you know, even though it may feel dark right now, just like when the moon comes out, the sun always has to come back out at some point as well. So give yourself time, give yourself grace, do your best to relax, take time to meditate, and allow the answers, the clarity, the downloads to flow into you, okay? You have to allow yourself to be in that open, receptive space for that to even come in, right? It's like if people are always like this, that's a clear indication that they're closed off, that they're not open to receive, okay? So I feel like some of you, that's what you're really being asked to do, is embrace this moon energy here and be open. Some of you, that's part of maybe what this challenge, what this major turning point is also representing, that some of you, because maybe you've lost a mother figure, or you maybe weren't nurtured the way you needed to be as a child, okay? Some of you, like I said, maybe have lost a baby that was in utero. I feel like maybe closing off your heart space. But some of you, this is like, you know, I feel like it's deeper than that, but this is just saying that, you know, things that have been, you know, maybe off kilter are going to be restored. And you're going to it's helping you get into that energy of being able to get back into your creative flow here and take action and really step into, you know, that masculine energy that's ready to get shit done, that's ready to take action, because they know where they're going, right? They're clear about the path ahead. So for some of you, you know, you are coming into that, but right now in this moment, right, it's dark, okay? So I feel like some of you, where you're going to find the answers that you're seeking, especially if you're needing to come with some sort of a strategy, that's where you're going to find it, in the darkness, meaning by closing your eyes, right? When the light isn't there, right? Going within, taking that time to tap into your heart space, okay? So clarifying this energy, we have the Four of Wands sideways, okay? So this could, like I said, for some of you, this could definitely represent a union of some sort with the Ace of Cups. So this may feel like a challenge to, you know, block out. For some of you, this has to do with family, okay? For some of you, this Four of Wands can definitely represent family. This could also be someone that maybe, you know, is blocking you. For some of you, family is blocking you. And some of you are needing to really love on yourself, focus on yourself. And that could, again, be what's challenging here, is that some of you are feeling like, I need to block out this union, whether this is a connection, a union, a marriage for some of you. But for others of you, this could definitely represent, like I said, family, where people are trying to support you, or you know, other people that maybe you were supporting. Some of you are feeling, you know, that could be the challenge here, is the idea of, you know, kind of like closing out everything else around you, including family, and focusing a little bit on yourself, giving yourself that love that maybe you didn't receive from a mother figure, okay? Or like I said, you know, whatever you feel like you're missing, or, you know, have lost in some type of way, especially, like I said, if it was a baby or miscarriage or something like that. You know, some of you, it's going to feel challenging to learn how to, you know, love yourself again. But some of you that's really, everything else flows from that place, right? Especially for those that are single and are looking for love, like, where's my person? it all has to come from within first. Can't nobody make you happy. You could tell a person they're beautiful or they're pretty or they're cute, handsome, whatever, a million times a day. If they don't believe it for themselves, it's not gonna fucking make a difference. It's not going to matter. If they don't ever believe it, and you can't even guarantee that they will, right? That's a risk you take. There's a potential they might end up believing it if you keep saying it, but you know what I'm saying? That's a 50-50 chance. There's no guarantee there. So that's why it's so important for you to have that love for yourself, to learn how to, the love that some of you are maybe trying to pour into other people. It's like some of you are really being asked to turn that back into yourself, right? Fill your own cup before you can fill other people's, right? Because that's where we're really supposed to pour from, is, you know, that's how you share with other people, is by pouring from your overflow. And you can only be in overflow when you're completely full, right? So it's like, for example, you know, I can't share my water with you, my bottle of water, if it's empty. I have nothing to give. But that means I first have to go fill it up, take it to the lake or wherever, right? And fill it up before I have some to pour off into other people, right? So this is the same thing. So like I said, some of you, this is where the challenge lies, is that some of you are needing to maybe come up with some sort of strategy to, you know, not overextend yourself to family, friends, a relationship. It doesn't matter. Anything outside of yourself. To do your best to find a balance, right? Especially when you're feeling like you're in a dark place, okay? And that sometimes requires you to block out those other energies for you to really connect to self, right? To fill your own cup up. Some of you, that's the best way you're going to do it, is through meditation, right? And that could be just by simply connecting to the Most High in that way. That could be through visualization, right? Of white light, kind of like pouring in like milk, right? Glittery, white, pretty milk, just fill me up. You know what I'm saying? Like as if you were filling up this pretty vase, right? And just pour it in and just let it, you know, fill up. Like it's so many ways you could go about doing it. But some of you, that's how, you know, how you can start, okay? So clarifying that is the Five of Swords. So I feel like some of you, you know, this is definitely conflicting. For some of you, it's maybe people around you that, you know, are trying to manipulate the situation because they don't know how to love themselves, so they're pulling on your energy, okay? And that's why I feel like some of you are needing to, even if it's a challenge, you're needing to block this out, okay? For some of you, this can be new love, okay? New love, like meaning a connection that you have not had yet, or at least has not gotten to the point of love, right? That could also be what's creating challenge here. Is there could be new love that some of you have manifested or have just met, that could possibly turn into a connection that you would marry. But some of you are so conflicted in your mind where you're blocking it. Some of you may be letting your shadow run the show, so much so where you're blocking your own blessing. Okay, that's not going to be for all of you, but it really feels like some of you have new love here, and some of you are essentially blocking your own blessing. But it really feels like some of you, if you're feeling challenged on, you know, coming up with a plan, you know, a way to get out of a situation for some of you and really get back to loving yourself, call up on your angels, call up on your guides, call up on your most benevolent ancestors. Not all your ancestors, because not all of them want to see you do well. Not all of them are meant to help you, and not all of them have your back, unfortunately. But that's why I say your most benevolent ancestors, meaning the ones that are from the highest white light, that are, you know, connected to the Christ consciousness, that wants to and is here to, in your experience, to see you and help you achieve your mission and help you do well, that want to see you succeed, that want to see you happy, right? Those are the ones that you call on, the ones that have my highest and best good and interest in mind, always. Please help me. Please, you know, assist me. Please, you know, connect with me to download the messages. Help me come up with a plan to leave whatever this is or come out of this energy. Help me love myself. Whatever it is that you need help with, you have to ask. By law, By universal law, because we have free will, they're not allowed to act on your behalf without your permission. That is why it's important to ask. Like all that information you can verify for yourself. You can fact check it. I don't care. I'm just telling you, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and especially when it comes to, you know, a connection that might be manipulative. For some of you, that's what this is about. Where some of you have someone that is very manipulative, someone that you maybe are always arguing with, have conflict with. And I feel like some of you, it's just a matter of needing to really figure out a way to block this person out, block their energy, whether you do it physically, like blocking them on the phone, but if it's not, you need to learn how to block them out energetically, right? And I feel like for some of you, that's what this strategy energy is about, where it feels like you're in this dark place and I can't see the way out. You need to come up with some type of plan to get yourself out of that and get back to loving yourself. And that is what I feel like is challenging for some of you, okay? So what's on the other side of that though, outcome energy is, we have the Queen of Wands, okay, which is clarified by the Prince of Cups, which is the Knight of Cups, okay? So it feels like, you know, you guys will get there, okay? Like I said, it's going to get easier, but it is going to require you, again, to surrender and give up something, let something go, let someone go that is not for you. That's where I feel like your solution really lies. And I feel like some of you already know this. And sometimes we find ourselves watching readings to get a different answer. But the trick to that is that your intuition is always going to be real with you. It's just a matter of, do you want to hear it or not? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like some of you may have come to this reading, you know, looking for a different answer, and it's like, I'm just confirming what you already know. So for some of you, you already know what I'm talking about. You already know who this person is or what this is that's creating problems for you financially, that's, you know, making you overspend or creating lack in your life in some type of way, or just making it worse, right? You know what this is. And some of you know what you're needing to move away from, even if it's packing your bags and just dipping, like, you know what, fuck it all, because they're not helping me. Some of you are finding yourself being loyal to things that you don't know, you don't need to be loyal to. I don't care what title they hold in your life. I don't care if they're siblings. I don't care if they're friends, family, spouse, kids. It don't matter. And that's just facts. That's not me being cold-hearted or, you know, a mean person. That's just me understanding, understanding, overstanding to such a degree of the spiritual realm and the energy and really how this shit works and what we all have signed up for in this lifetime, to where it's not always our job to save other people. It's not always our job to keep people in our experience when they're not willing to grow. It's like we come here with specific missions and we sign certain contracts. Like I said with the Hierophant, we sign certain contracts to have these experiences with each other, because we know that some people, you know, by me having this experience with you, that was a contract, a soul contract I signed in the ethers before we reincarnated into this lifetime to have with you, because I knew only you could teach me certain lessons, right? But again, because free will exists, people sometimes forfeit their part of the contract, where you showed up for yours, and if they're not showing up for theirs, then it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to stop your, you know, leave your whole mission incomplete because someone else refused to fulfill their part of the end, their end of the deal? Why would you do that? Why would you, you know, waste all the progress you made because someone doesn't want to hold their end of the bargain? You see what I'm saying? And that goes to, like I said, for anybody, because the soul knows. So it doesn't matter what the vessel is. It doesn't matter how old the vessel is. In this lifetime, the soul is way, way, way wiser. You see what I'm saying? And that's where, even for me, even thinking about my own child, right? I have to come to terms with, like, you know, he knew what he signed up for. He chose me as his mom in this lifetime. And he knew that him being his North Node is Pisces, that there's certain things that I'm supposed to teach him within the spiritual realm, right? The spiritual work that I do now, that he's like refusing to give up me. There's certain things that he is not ready to do. And it's up to me I have to eventually decide, well, you know, I have to let him make his choices. His soul is doing what it wants to do at this time. And I have to allow that, because I know how hard I've worked and I know how far I've come and where I'm still going. And so do I let him stop me? You know what I'm saying? When he's fully aware at 17, he's well aware of the stuff we talk about, the things we discuss. And I feel like some of you, you know, are kind of being put in that same kind of position where you're being kind of like put in a position to have to choose. And it's unfortunate, but if people aren't trying to go with you, then essentially they may get kind of, so to speak, left behind. And that's not it's never the goal. But it's like, you can't force people to go where you're going if they don't want to come. That's not for you to do though either. It's simply for us to be the example. And if they want to jump on board, then it's like, cool, the seat's waiting for you. It's already paid for. You just have to hop in it. But I'm not going to put a gun to your head and force you to go. You see what I'm saying? So some of you, this is kind of like a turning point for you guys to decide. You know, it's time to give up something. Someone that I feel like for some of you, you may have had kids with. For some of you, like I said, this is someone you're married to, someone that maybe was at one point very nurturing and abundant and loving and all these things. And for some of you, that has definitely changed. Okay, so advice from Spirit. We have the card 10, 35, and 9. And look at Cancer showing up at the end in your own fucking reading. Go ahead, Cancer. So we have unfinished symphony. Okay, so this is like something isn't over. Okay, something is still, you know, something hasn't completed yet. Okay, this could be a cycle. For some of you, this is definitely a cycle that hasn't, it's giving me world energy, even though it's not what that is, nor is it the number, but that's kind of what it feels like, a cycle that isn't yet complete. So for some of you, you're really being asked to, like I said, surrender anything that is not for you, whether it's a connection, whether it's habits, a way of thinking, believing, the way you talk to yourself, whatever that is. Some of you, a cycle hasn't completely closed because there's something you're needing to let go of first. Okay. So, and for some of you, it's whatever you've been loyal to. Some of you with this loyal heart, it's something that some of you can't get to the next step, which is what the 10 represents, is the next journey. Like the 9 is the ending, the 10 represents a new beginning. Why? Because the 0 is infinite. It's always going to be there. It's never going to stop. So the 1 represents the new start. Okay. So for some of you, that's what this is that you can't get to the next phase until you close out the cycle that you're currently in. Okay. And for some of you, it's someone, something, like I said, whether it's family, a union, a marriage, whatever, that some of you have been loyal to. This is Spirit's advice to now it's time to really, you know, go within and ask yourself, am I being loyal to the wrong thing? Am I being loyal to where it's no longer benefiting me? It's no longer serving me. It's no longer for my highest and greatest good. It's time to make a decision. Okay. So then we have the 9 here, like I said, which is representing the ending. So in this case in particular, this is giving me 9 of Cups energy. Okay. Wish granted, rainbow. Okay. Some of you may be seeing rainbows. Some of you may be seeing double rainbows. But patience pays off. Serendipity, abundance, hope, good luck, God sent, manifesting wealth, prosperity, perfect timing, patience, creation. Okay. So I feel like some of you, this is like allowing yourself to give up whatever it is that you're being asked to surrender, because you have wishes that are trying to be granted. You have things that you've been patiently waiting for, that is waiting for you to let it in. But it can't do that if you're not clearing the energy and making room for it. Okay, so signs, we have Leo. It's like the only major arcana here, aside of the Taurus with the Empress. So some of you may have Leo in your chart. Oh, I lied, Libra as well, because I forgot that card was under there. So Libra, Leo, okay? Those signs may be of significance. They may be, you know, ones that you're seeing, ones that you're dealing with. I'm also seeing Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Aries, Leo, Sag. Literally all the elements are here, but you know, as far as majors, Leo and Libra for sure. Okay, and like I said, Cancer, you're showing up in your own reading here, so that's what I have for you. I really hope this reading brought you some clarity, some guidance, some insight. It was very, very deep. Like I said, I already knew from the beginning, like it was a lot to unpack, and you know, we did it though. So I pray that you got something from this reading. I pray that those that need the messages actually watch and receive the messages. Okay, but if you did enjoy this reading, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you have not, and until next time, you guys, out.